Welcome to Klein Memorial Stadium for a pre-district game between the Cypress Creek Cougars of District 17, 5A, and the Klein Oak Panthers of District 13, 5A. Cypress Creek is playing their opener on the road, and they hope to weather opening game jitters against the Klein Oak team still stinging from a heartbreaking last-second loss at Langham Creek just 6 days ago. The Cougars play an up-tempo game and have a balanced attack, giving junior quarterback Brett Bumgartner a variety of options. Meanwhile, the Panthers will have to fill a big offensive gap without the versatile services of speedy running back and receiver and Nebraska Cornhusker commit Lorenzo Stewart. But enough talking, let's pick up the action. The Cougars' first possession began on their own 38. And Terrell Aldridge moves the ball across midfield on his first carry. Then Bumgartner went to the air and finds Max Schaffner behind the defenders. And Schaffner makes a one-handed grab and takes it in for a 35-yard touchdown. And the Cougars draw first blood as James Crisp converts the point after. The Panthers got the ball on their own 19. And here comes J.T. Smith, changing direction and bursting through a hole. And it's a foot race that Smith will win 90% of the time. Oh, and James Frady's kick makes it a tie game. Now Smith ran on the state championship 4x100 relay team as a freshman, so he'll create a lot of havoc for Panther foes for several more years. Moving to later in the quarter, it's the Terrell Aldridge show again as he slices off tackle for a first down. Then Aldridge slices through the pile, bounces off tacklers, and keeps his balance all the way to the 9-yard line. Now there's a load. And Aldridge finishes the drive around the corner for the score as the Cougars go up 14-7. Crisp would add a 45-yard field goal to wrap up the period and put the Cougars up 17-7. We pick up action late in the second period, with the Cougars up 24-7 and Klein Oak forced to punt. But it's a bad snap and gets away from Frady, and he races to pick it up, but is drilled by Brandon Brown at the 25. Just 2 plays later, and it's Overton Crooms hitting a big hole up the middle and breaks for the corner of the end zone and is in for the touchdown. The point after by Crisp closed out the scoring, and the Panthers are left to figure out just what to do differently in the second half. The Panther offense could not solve a Cougar defense that disrupted their game plans throughout the first half, as the Cougars dominated in all statistics, including the score. The Cougar offense was equally skilled at beating the Panthers to the outside and creating huge holes on the inside, while moving the chains almost at will. The third period looked a lot like the second, as late in the period the Panthers were forced to try a field goal. But Safar Sheriff gets penetration up the center for the block. And Brandon Brown picks it up, and the Cougars have the ball in Oak territory. And just 2 plays later, Ross Hargrove is in a quarterback and looks downfield and lays it perfectly in the arms of Jacob Corday as he hauls it in for the touchdown and a 38-7 lead. In the fourth, it's Jonathan Toth who comes in to play quarterback for the Panthers and hooks up with Kenneth Green at midfield. And here, Toth drops back again, looking long down the sidelines, and Jared Morgan pulls it down at the 7. First and goal. And then Toth called his own number and followed blockers into the end zone to close out the scoring for the night, as the point after failed. Although the final score showed a margin of 32 points, the game really wasn't even that close.
Things we need to correct, polish up, clean up. I'd say we did a solid B, for technique, and I thought we did a solid B for conditioning and effort, and that'll get better as the game goes along. I think they got to understand the intensity of the ball game. That was the biggest thing. There were times when we did everything great, and then because we're young, we made some immature, decisions not to finish plays, not do that sort of stuff. And so what we'll pull away from this is you got to play till the whistle blows. You got to put people away. Obviously, our running game was good. I was really pleased with our front seven on defense. I thought they did a very nice job. So those things were all positive. But those are things I thought were going to be positive. I thought our offensive line was going to be pretty talented. So, and Terrell and Overton are good players. So that's going to help us right there. We have some issues to work on, but I think everybody does. And we just got to try to, mature and get a little bit better.